طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوا من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهن وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا وكأين من قرية عتت عن أمر ربها ورسله.
As the gender war rages on In order to keep the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Ex-Faktly. I am your host, Saudi Ma'am. Remove your shoes into upon your right foot, upon the right state of mind, be in the lot. Topic. May I first speak with your ex? And does it go both ways? To further explain, often when two people meet each other and they have some desire to know each other more or well enough in order to marry, which as Muslims, that's the only relationship that we can have. So that's a given. Marriage is the goal. Often a request may come, may I speak, may I first speak with your ex before solidifying the deal, before signing the contract, before going any further. After I have known you for this particular amount of time or not known you at all, I would like to first speak with your ex in order to measure you better, in order to make a conscious decision to continue or to discontinue the process of getting to know and moving toward the goal of marriage. Now, I will say that some may think it's necessary to do so, and some may think this process should go both ways of those that think it's necessary to do so. Now, we know that one way to get to know someone that you don't know or to know them better is to talk with their parents, their family, talk with their close associates in order to see the company that they keep, speak with the company they keep, and try to get to know them. But one issue with talking to parents, not saying it's a bad idea. Yes, it's a good idea, something that should be done. But we are not, never was the man or the woman married to their parents. So you're trying to draw parallels. I'm going into a relationship, potentially marriage with this individual, male or female, and I want to know something about them in regards to how this marriage will or will not work. So you talk to the parents, and the parents may give you some insight about their character, so on and so forth. But at the same time, you must understand that they were never married to their parents. My father knows me as a son. My mother knows me as a son. My sisters know me as a brother, so on and so forth. They were never married to me. And sometimes that dynamic is far, far different. Even there are women that claim they were abused by men. Those men have no history of abuse toward their mother. Those men have no history of abuse toward their sisters. So, where's the parallel? Yes, you can get some character traits or understands even character flaws talking to close friends, which is very important to know the company that they keep, talking to family members and even parents. You get some semblance, some type of idea, but they were never married to any of these groups. So where's the parallel? Because you intend to go into a marriage contract. Now, there is a parallel when it comes to exes. You know, the ex-wife, the ex-husband, there's a parallel there. You intend, again, to go into a marriage situation with this person as the goal, not just getting to know them to date them or to have a long girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, but you want to be halal. You want to live a life pleasing to your Lord Allah Ta'ala, not with your Lord's displeasure. So therefore, marriage is the goal. So to talk to the ex would seem quite logical because that's indeed a parallel. You want to marry this person, they were once married to this person. How did that marriage work? What were the dynamics? Why did you all break up? Was he the cause? Were you the cause? Do you have any regrets? What do you know good about this person? What do you know bad about this person? You can go on and on. But the fact that you intend to marry someone else and you were married to another person, that's where the parallels stop. Now, why would I say that? I say that because that person that you were married to is not the person you intend to marry. And the person you intend to marry is not that person you were married to, because these are individuals. These individuals have individual traits. A woman that is masculine is not like a woman that is soft and feminine. A woman that is agreeable and accommodating is not a woman. Is not like a woman that is boisterous and you know uh, overly outspoken, you know, and stuff like that. You know, not the same. So just because I didn't get along with this individual, that looked like Wesley Snipes in the face, doesn't mean that I'm not going to get along with this next individual who happens to be very, very beautiful. You know. So again, that's where the parallels stop. Is there was a marriage and there intends to be a marriage. That's where the parallels stop. Two different individuals. But some insist, let me first speak with the ex and get, an idea of who you are, how you are. Knowing how I was with a one particular person would not tell you how I am with you. Now, if I was a drunk, if I was a drug addict, if I was, I can't say liar because, I mean, come on. I've been lied on and called a liar. So I can't put a lot of credence in that. It's almost as if the lie is in the eye of the beholder. So anyway, a drunk, a drug addict, a thief. Uh, Again, I can't even say a cheater, because what is cheating to one person may not be cheating according to the Sharia. What is cheating to one person could be that woman's intuition. You know, like this one comedian said, he's in. You'll find it funny. Scientists said that women's intuition is true. That women can we read facial expressions and emotions and things like that. And I think those scientists bumped their heads up against the lab walls. Really, because if women's intuition, as the comedian said, is real, then why didn't your intuition tell you I wasn't no good from the first place? Why didn't your intuition warn you not to go into the relationship in the first place? But nevertheless, scientists are saying it's real. And it's funny that scientists will say it's real, because these same scientists would deny Allah Ta'ala exists. And how do you quantify a woman's intuition or anyone's intuition? How do you quantify that? Scientists, there has to be something that is observable before they can study it. Okay? Before a scientist can study something, it has to be observable. How do you observe someone's intuition? Anyway, so we move on from that. So, real life situations, not my situation, but real life situations that actually happen, is that she wants to marry you, but she said, first, let me speak to your ex. And you said, I don't think that's a good idea. Hypothetical, right? And she says, well, you must be hiding something. It's possible he's hiding something. It's possible he's protecting his own honor. It's possible the person you want to speak to slandered him, falsely accused him. I know people, and I have personal experiences, but I'm going to just leave it general. People have called the police and had husbands locked up based on false accusation. That was just their get back. That was their clap back. That was their vindictive nature, trying to get some payback. So is he an abuser because on paper it says he abused that one particular time? No. An abuser would be in reality, an abuser, not necessarily based on any court finding or police report. So you want to speak to the ex and you're adamant about it, and you're saying that I'll call off the whole thing if I can't speak to your ex because it seemed like you're hiding something. Again, maybe he's trying to protect his honor, his dignity. Maybe he's trying to not be slandered. because women are very pliable. They're very malleable. Uh, One woman will say something negative about her ex because generally she don't want to see him happy or see y'all together. She might have hopes that she could make a comeback and get a do-over. And you're that person that's in the way, you know. It could be that issue, okay? And, you know, it wouldn't be good to talk with her and ask her questions about the man you intend to marry because maybe she's not truthful about it. Maybe she's not honest about it. Maybe she's not forthcoming with the facts. So you say, go ahead, talk to her. Now, I've had experiences where exes have said wonderful, flowery, effervescent type, things about me, and the other person uh, said, "Yeah, let's get married." Your ex-wife said these glowing things about you, but the only problem is that glowing statement came after I said, "Don't speak to my ex." She went behind my back and spoke to my ex and got a glowing recommendation, a flowery recommendation, an effervescent recommendation. And I said, well, I can't marry you. Why not? Why not? She said, you're such a good provider. You're such a good protector. You're such a good father. Why? We can't marry. She said positive about you. I say, yeah, but see, I told you don't talk to her in the first place. I told you don't talk to her. I don't need her recommendation. I have a bunch of Muslim brothers that I keep company with. You can talk to them, you know? So you don't have to talk to this particular individual. But they went and did it anyway, and for that reason, I didn't marry. I didn't marry for that particular reason. You might say, oh man, you might miss out on a good one. Well, I'd rather miss out on a bunch of good ones, than to marry someone that's going to, disobey me and go behind my back and do what I said don't do. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm the maintainer and protector, and I'm trying to protect you from that same person I don't want you talking to slandering you, getting to know you, and going back keying and hi-hiing with their friends behind your back. I'm trying to save you from what I know that this particular individual, hypothetically, uh, really will, throw in a monkey wrench in the whole relationship and cause it not to happen. Why? Because maybe that particular day they felt like, you or I didn't deserve better or happiness. So again, I say no. With that being said, I have a list of exes, long list. I have a list of exes that I don't mind people talking to. I really don't. I really don't mind a potential wife talking to. I got a laundry list of exes that you could talk to. I got a laundry list you can talk to. Well, why you guys didn't work? Well, there were particulars, put it like that. The reason why we didn't work. Now, she's demanding to talk to the exes. Now, look, what if he wants to talk to the exes? I'm not talking about boyfriends and girlfriends because if the one before you was a boyfriend, and I've come across that experience, if the one before you, before that man was a boyfriend, then you probably not should marry that person anyway. If the one before you was a husband, then you could talk to him. Men are built a little different than women. We're not the same. We're not equal. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, and they're complementary to each other if we stay within our own male frame, female frame. But nevertheless, he wants to talk to your exes. What questions would he ask? Men in our ghira, in our natural jealousy over the women, our wards, the women under our care, our mothers, our aunts, our daughters, our sisters, so our wives, and that we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear, oh man, she's this, and that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you talking bad about her. I don't want to hear you talking good about her. Okay? Now, What should a man do? Should a man talk to an ex? Does it go both ways? You know, woman wants to talk to the ex. Well, the man say, okay, I'm gonna talk to the exes. Okay, but what should the man do? Well, there's a thing called a wali. There's a thing called a wakil. Whatever you need to know about her, any red flags, any faults, you know, then that wakil or wali should be doing the research in that regard. Therefore, when that ex-husband tells them, "Yeah, man, the positives about her, this, and that," so he can filter it and bring it back to you, things that are actually relevant for the potential relationship. But you, as a man, sitting there listening to the exes talk about, the woman, talking about the woman, uh, it could go bad. It could go bad, or maybe not. When a person wants to talk to your exes, is that a right? Should it be a right? Should it be a given? Is it something that will save your relationship or your potential relationship? Is it something that will give you and your future spouse longevity because you've worked out those quirks? Well, I can tell you, I knew men that were abusive, that didn't abuse all of their wives. They abused one or two of them, if they had that many exes. They abused one or two of them, but the rest of them never knew that side of him. That means that those particular women were drawing that negativity out of him. And I know the general mantra is, if you hit a woman, you're not a man. You know, if you hit a woman, you're not a man. Well, DNA testing would say you are a man. Genetic, research would say yes, he hit a woman, but yeah, he's still a man. He's biologically still a man. So it doesn't make you not a man if you hit a woman. It does it make a woman not a woman if she hit a man? You know, and that's I'm throwing it out there because the next one that we're going to talk about is about domestic, quote unquote, domestic violence, and do the laws in Dal Kufr promote it, exacerbate it, perpetuate it, or if these laws were repealed? I'm not suggesting anything to these Kafirs about their Kufr laws, but if the laws were repealed or modified, would that lower the domestic violence, or would it cause it to rocket or to spike? So we'll talk about that. But in this regard, a man that had been abusive, they say once an abuser, always an abuser. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. A man can have a different experience with a different woman that doesn't draw out that anger from him. You know, I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact that a man can have an experience with a woman that draws out the worst in him, you know, and a man can have an experience with another woman that doesn't even spike any type of anger that brings you that far where you are abusing the one Allah Ta'ala has ordered you and ordained that you protect. This is reality. This is reality. Now, women have stabbed, shot, hit their exes. Why don't we say once an abuser, always an abuser when it comes to them? Why don't we do that? See, speaking with the exes, you have to speak to the parallels. You know, you have to speak to the parallels. Did they were they interested in marrying you? How long did they wait to marry you? Did they rush the situation? Did they pay the full mahar? Was he respectful? Did he contact your wakil? You can go through all of that. Okay. But when you start asking, how is he in bed? And this happens. How is he in bed? Okay. Well, if that is your concern, which is, in this oversexed society, that is a major concern for a lot of people. A lot of sisters are saying, hey, since we're going to get married anyway, let me, send me a picture. Sisters are sending pictures, not even being asked, trying to seal the deal. I was just telling the brother the other day, subhanAllah, I was driving out of town. I was telling him that a sister sent me a picture, inappropriate, and I thought it was a prank. I thought she, subhanAllah, I thought she was pranking me. It looked like Arby's, and it was a problem. It was a problem because that picture made me not marry her. I mean, let's say that I was down. She sent me the picture. I wasn't mad about the picture. Okay, and I was down. That picture made me like, oh, no, I ain't marrying Arbery's, you know. And that's what actually happened in that particular situation. I backed all the way up and became all the way disinterested. That looks disgusting. And I'm not saying my Iman saw it as disgusting. I'm saying my eyes, my two eyes, you know. So anyway, that being said, the exes uh for a woman going directly to your ex-wives, asking about you and your character and so on and so forth, it can go good, it can go bad. A man going asking ex-husbands about a particular woman, the ex-husband might be uncomfortable, you know, answering certain questions and discussing. They might, man, I'm just moving on, man. We didn't work out. You guys, y'all might work out. That's generally what men say. Men actually talk like that. Women tend to, I got one ex. I married another wife. She can't stay away. She's already remarried. She still can't stay away. Always in my business. Want to have conversations. Had one of my wives spend a night over our house. One time, I'm like, man, you good as divorce. I mean, really, like you double divorce. You know, I'm gonna divorce you, wake up and divorce you again. It's kind of like, if a man tells you don't talk to my exes, is he hiding something? Or could it be he's protecting his honor? You don't know that situation, So if you don't trust this man, don't marry that man. You don't trust this man, don't marry that man, because why? You're giving him the leadership. So marry the dude that says, yeah, talk to my exes. Everything is just fine. Talk to my exes. Well, people get divorced. Divorce was revealed as a solution. People get divorced. That means that there was some differences that could not be overcome. They were irreconcilable. Okay? It might be mild. It might be, oh, I couldn't have kids. He wanted children. Well, did you know that before y'all got married? No, I found out afterwards. Okay, we understand that. Um, oh, I can't have kids. I thought I could deal with a second wife, but my jealousy overcame me, and I can't fear Allah, and it's messing with my iman, and so on and so forth, and my talk was low, and whatever. So we decided to part because I can't live amicably in this situation. I mean, the scenarios run the gamut, the hypotheticals run the gamut, but it's not your right to talk to the ex-husbands. It's not a woman's right to talk to the ex-wives. If the man says, okay, go ahead, then go ahead. Go ahead. It can be a double-edged sword. Men in general don't like talking to other guys about their ex-wives. Men don't like asking ex-husbands about the woman they intend to marry. Alhamdulillah, Allah instituted the institution of the wakil or the wali. They can be the ones you ask the questions of. This person is a mahram. And if they're not a mahram, they are acting as proxy. They can go out and find out the information, the questions that you may need. What are some red flags with your ward? What are some red flags with your ward? Anything that I may need to know. Because remember, the wali or the wakil are going to investigate you. They're going to investigate you. Ask questions. But when you ask the exes, it could go bad. Or, like in my case, it could work for the good. But Allah is my witness. I told that woman, don't talk to my ex. And she went behind my back and did it anyway. Oh, no. She actually contacted me. Yeah, because she always in my business. When she saw that we making googly eyes at each other online, so she want to know who this person is, and she, oh yeah, he's a wonderful man. I just don't like him. He's a butt. He's a butthole. I don't like him. But he's an excellent father, a good provider, good protector. Girl, you should marry him. Oh, Salam alaikum, Aki. I want to marry you ASAP. I say, why? Well, I talked to your ex, and don't get mad, but she said all positive things about you. Just you and her personally didn't get along, but she said a whole bunch of glowing, flowery, effervescent things about you. I say, but didn't I say don't speak to her? Well, yeah, but she contacted me first. I say, you should have blocked her. You should have blocked her. I say, because I foresee a problem in the future that I'm going to say something and you're going to find a better way, or you're going to find an excuse to do what you want to do. I say, I see that in the future, and that's not something I don't want anybody with a relationship to this one particular ex. I don't want anybody in a relationship to now it's two particular exes, because those two got together and became friends. Now they're enemies. Now they can't stand each other. You know why? Because people like that are messy, they are messy. Redundantly, people that are messy like that are indeed messy. So even though these two messy people got together, they still messy. So eventually they're not gonna like each other. You know why? Because the uqd that ties hearts of the Muslim, that ties my heart to the other person, is La ilaha illallah wa Muhammadan Rasulullah. And when you are bonding with each other based on womanhood, that's not La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. If you are bonding with each other because y'all like to sit around and talk bad about me, that's not La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. And any other bond that does not raise Allah Ta'ala's name high, that does not promote the Islamic brotherhood and sisterhood, is a lesser, weaker, and even haram in some cases bond. And if you are messy and you find somebody messy with you to talk mess about me, then eventually y'all gonna fall apart too, because y'all don't have any adhesive, any religious adhesive, I guess I'll say, or anything that's tying y'all hearts together. It's really the hatred and the evil, in the messiness that's bringing you guys together. And what is that called? That's called a bond of interest. How fleeting is a bond of interest? Once the interest is past, you two will become enemies to each other. You two will become enemies to each other. So have fun with talking to the exes. I don't feel it's necessary. I'm going to stick with the wali. I'm going to stick with the wakil. I'm going to ask all the pertinent questions. I'm going to have them do research for me about the person that they represent. And she can feel free to talk to family members. My family members love me. You can talk to family members. You can talk to close associates, friends, what have you, and get all the information you want. But if you want to talk to the exes, it can go good, go bad. I can tell you of my exes who you can talk to and who you can't talk to. But for some strange reason, they always go to the forbidden tree. Same scenario with Adam, wa Hawa alayhum salam. Allah Ta'ala says, eat and drink from wherever you will, except don't approach this tree in the middle of the garden. Don't approach this tree. Everything else is halal for you, except this one tree in the middle. This tree, haram. Haram, this tree. They found it. They found it with the suggestion of the shaitan, found themselves at that tree. Today's society, we live in the polar opposite. We have haram, haram, haram all around us, and there is a sanctuary, a middle tree that we really got to grab onto the trunk of and hold to. That's the only place for our sanity. But with Adam alayhi salam, wa Hawa alayhum salam, they had free reign, except the middle tree. And today, the free reign is so haram, we are taking ourselves and fastening ourselves and tethering ourselves to the only halal tree in this big haram garden that has an absence of Islam as a ruling system. So with that being said, I'm not going to take a position on it. I'm going to leave it up to you. I threw it out. Men should stick with the wakil wali by my estimation. And women, if he says don't talk to his exes, he may be protecting his honor. He may have went through some slander because he didn't please a particular person. Remember, Allah is all forgiving, Ghafur Rahim. Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. Right? Human beings are not. This has been your brother Saudi Imam for Ex-Faktly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.